there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight where we get you the day's top stories. I'm Tracy Shilchi and here are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses a mammoth campaign rally in Lucknow, appeals to people to end the exile of development and bring the BJP to power in the state. Staying with UP politics, a day after Akhilesh Yadav declares himself party national president, tussle begins with Father Mulayam Singh Yadav to gain control of Samajwadi Party's poll symbol, both sides to plead their case with the Election Commission. Supreme Court says politicians cannot use religion, caste, creed or language to seek votes, insists that election in India is a secular exercise. Supreme Court administers a huge jolt to the BCCI, removes Anurag Thakur from the post of president and Secretary Ajay Shirke for not complying with its orders of implementing the Lodha Committee recommendations. And the Islamic State claims responsibility for a New Year's Day mass shooting in a packed Istanbul nightclub. 39 people were killed in the attack that was carried out by a lone gunman. Our top story this evening, Prime Minister Modi on Monday addressed a mega rally in Uttar Pradesh's capital Lucknow. This was his first rally in the state after the 50-day deadline of demonetization got over. And in his address, the Prime Minister took on the state government over development, governance and its internal feud, which of course was within the Samajwadi Party. He also urged the people of the state to vote overwhelmingly for the BJP in the upcoming polls.
Bharat Mata Ki!
A huge turnout for the Prime Minister's Parivartan rally in Lucknow, bolstering the BJP's confidence ahead of the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections. The Prime Minister called it the biggest rally of his career as the crowd cheered on.
सैकड़ों रैलियों में संबोधन करने लेके जाने का अवसर भी मिला, लेकिन मेरे पूरे जीवन काल में इतनी बड़ी रैली संबोधन करने का मुझे सौभाग्य नहीं मिला। जो पॉलिटिकल पंडित हैं, चुनाव के हिसाब किताब लगाते हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश का चुनाव किस दिशा में जाएगा, उसका हिसाब किताब जो लगा रहे हैं, ये रैली देखने के बाद अब किसी को मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी कि चुनाव में होने वाला क्या है.
And he stuck to his agenda of late, fight against black money and development. He urged the people to rise above caste and vote for development of the state. He also took the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party to task, as he said he was working towards eradicating black money.
उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार कोई जिम्मेवारी लेने को तैयार नहीं, हाथ ऊपर कर देना और उधर जाकर के किसानों को भड़काना. भाइयों बहनों, दो दलों के बीच में राजनीति हम समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन राज्य की जनता के साथ राजनीति नहीं होनी चाहिए. देश की जनता के साथ राजनीति नहीं होनी चाहिए. दलों की राजनीति दलों तक सीमित होनी चाहिए. लेकिन भाइयों बहनों, विकास के आड़े भी जब राजनीति आती है, अपने पराये का भाव आता है, तो विकास रुक जाता है और जनता पिछड़ती चली जाती है.
Playing on the Samajwadi Party's internal feud, Modi also said that the centre was giving full support to the state government, who had so far failed to utilize that support positively.
आज मुझे दुख के साथ कहना है, मेरे किसान भाइयों बहनों, भारत सरकार से पूरी मदद मिलने के बावजूद भी ये उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार को किसानों के धान की खरीदी की फुर्सत नहीं है. आपने कभी सपा बसपा को एक साथ देखा है, इतने सालों के बाद एक मुद्दे पर दोनों इकट्ठे हो गए, दोनों मिलकर के कह रहे हैं कि मोदी को बदलो, मोदी को हटाओ। मोदी कह रहा है नोट बदलो, काला धन हटाओ। निर्णय आपको करना है, निर्णय आपको करना है भाइयों बहनों। वो कहते हैं मोदी हटाओ, मैं कहता हूं काला धन हटाओ। वो कहते हैं मोदी हटाओ, मैं कहता हूं भ्रष्टाचार हटाओ। देश की जनता को तय करना है कि हमें क्या करना है।
Senior union ministers and party president Amit Shah joined the Prime Minister on stage as he appealed to the people to vote the BJP to power in Uttar Pradesh with a full majority. He also called the UP election a matter of great responsibility.
Launching a scathing attack on the opposition parties for opposing demonetization, Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to drive home a point that demonetization has actually curbed corruption and black money. He also took pot shots at the SP and the BSP for the family feud and corruption, respectively. But most importantly, Prime Minister asserted that the massive turnout in the rally has dismissed all speculations about UP polls. So can this turnout actually get converted into votes and help the BJP win the heart of India? Well, we shall know in few months. Reporting from Lucknow with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Meanwhile, staying with UP politics, Mulayam Singh Yadav today staked claim to the cycle symbol of the Samajwadi Party that he founded 25 years ago. And this comes a day after his son and Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav was declared the party's chief at a meeting in Lucknow. Mulayam today was accompanied by his brother Shivpal Yadav and close friend Amar Singh and described the Samajwadi Party's election symbol as his signature. Akhilesh Yadav is understood to be sending his senior leaders of his camp to the EC to make the same claim tomorrow.
In the latest twist to the Samajwadi Party saga, party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav put off the convention called on 5th of January. In a series of tweets, SP leader Shivpal Yadav said the convention stands postponed for now. He, however, gave no reasons for the abrupt cancellation, but the Mulayam camp seems to be faring a poor turnout compared to the massive gathering at the convention held by suspended party leader and Rajya Sabha MP Ram Gopal Yadav.
साइकिल चुनाव चिन्ह को लेकर घमासान मचा है, जो जिस तरह से आपने इसको असंवैधानिक किया है, क्या कहना है?
चुनाव चिन्ह है समाजवादी पार्टी पर, चुनाव चिन्ह है हमारे तस्कर से।
On Monday, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav presided over a meeting of about 5,000 leaders and workers in Lucknow, after which he declared himself elected as the party chief, replacing his father, Mulayam Singh Yadav. Mulayam Singh had declared the meeting illegal and unconstitutional. Akhilesh alleged that his uncle Shivpal Yadav, who heads the state unit of the party, and another lawmaker, Amar Singh, had hatched a conspiracy to ruin the party's prospects in the upcoming polls.
तो उनसे पूछो जाके जो कर रहे हैं, हम क्या करें?
कह रहे कि आपने जो फैसला किया असंवैधानिक है, असंवैधानिक था।
हाँ, तो वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज हैं, तो उन्हीं से पूछो।
The proposal to expel Amar Singh was also passed by supporters of Akhilesh, who also reached out to his father.
पार्टी के खिलाफ साजिश हो तो नेताजी का बेटा होने की वजह से मेरी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि ऐसे लोगों के खिलाफ, साजिश करने वालों के खिलाफ हम खड़े हों। मैं चाहे अध्यक्ष हूं, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हूं, कुछ भी हूं, लेकिन नेताजी मेरे पिताजी रहेंगे और नेताजी पिताजी हैं तो मैं उनका बेटा रहूंगा। ये रिश्ता कोई नहीं खत्म कर सकता।
Mulayam had expelled his cousin Ram Gopal for 6 years along with National Vice President Kiran Moinanda, who chaired the convention, and General Secretary Naresh Agrawal for taking part in it. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Rajya Sabha TV's correspondent Kriti Mishra spoke to Senior Cabinet Minister in the UP government Azam Khan, who said that he hopes that this feud doesn't hamper the party's success in the upcoming polls.
Joining me is the Senior Cabinet Minister in the Uttar Pradesh government and Senior Samajwadi Party leader, Mr. Azam Khan. Welcome to Rajya Sabha Television, sir. What is happening in your party? There are many who say that this is an orchestrated move to establish party leadership or to grab headlines. There are others who say that this is actually a power struggle between the old guard and your Chief Minister. How do you respond to that?
देखिए, हमारी जो अपनी हैसियत है और जो हम हैं उसमें कोई बहुत ज़्यादा हम कमेंट करने की पोजीशन में नहीं है। यही चाहते रहे कि बेहतर नतीजे हों और समाजवादी पार्टी का कोई नुकसान ना हो। अगर एक व्यक्ति भी कम होता है तो पार्टी का नुकसान है, एक परिवार टूटता है तो भी नुकसान है।
If the party splits and we are waiting for an official confirmation, which camp would you join?
देखिए, कैंप की बात नहीं है और अभी इसके लिए बहुत क़ब्ल वक्त है, ये बहुत अर्ली है ये फैसला लेना। ज़ाहिर है मैं सरकार में हूँ, मंत्री हूँ, मुख्यमंत्री के साथ हूँ। एक पार्टी है जिसका नाम समाजवादी पार्टी है और हमारी भी दावेदारी है उसकी कि हम उसमें हैं, आज भी हैं। तो अब किसकी है समाजवादी पार्टी ये अभी तय नहीं हुआ है।
And if the party splits, do you think alliance is the only way left for either of the camps?
अब ये तो आने वाला वक्त तय करेगा, मैं अकेला।
Lastly, sir, do you think that you've decimated your chances? We have elections just days away now.
अभी कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता, कोई राय भी नहीं दी जा सकती इस सिलसिले में।
We hope that peace prevails. Thank you so much for talking to Rajya Sabha Television. Reporting from Lucknow with camera person Shiv Kumar, Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha Television.
All right, Kriti Mishra, in fact, joining us from Lucknow at this point. Kriti, like you said, we do hope peace prevails, and I'm sure that is what a lot of people within the Samajwadi Party are hoping for. But what does it look like in the days to come? How is this going to be heading forward?
Well, Tracy, the fate of the feud in the Samajwadi Party may now finally be decided by the Election Commission. Ram Gopal Yadav, who represents the Akhilesh Yadav's camp, he's likely to approach. He's going to meet the Election Commissioner tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. in New Delhi. He's likely to stake claim for the symbol, and he's also likely to communicate the decision taken in the National Convention, which was held here in Lucknow on Sunday, where Akhilesh was anointed as the national president and Amar Singh was ousted from the party. Now, Election Commission may seize the symbol, issue new symbol, new name. It may also weigh support of various MLAs and MPs, which side they belong to. But the entire process is going to be extremely cumbersome. Meanwhile, both the sides have the option of moving the court for conflict resolution. Tracy?
All right. Is there any chance of Akhilesh trying to reach out to his father again, try and work things out? Because the last thing they would probably need is to perhaps get a word from the EC where, there is a possibility of, like you're pointing out, the symbol being frozen and perhaps both sides fighting as independents. And that's not something they would want.
Well, they have to weigh all the options. Now, Mulayam Singh Yadav had convened the National Convention on January 5th here, which he had to postpone. Now, the reasons that a lot of people are citing is that Akhilesh could have actually sabotaged that convention. So, a lot of people are saying that in this show of power and in this show of struggle, Akhilesh seems to be leading. So, what actually happens and how this entire thing shapes up in future, we really need to wait and watch.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much, Kriti, for joining us. We'll come back to you, of course, tomorrow in the days ahead to see how things pan out for the Samajwadi Party, not just in Lucknow, but in Delhi as well. And probably taking a leaf out of what's going on there as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned. Down south as well, senior AIDMK leader M. Thambidurai has appealed to the newly appointed party General Secretary V.K. Sasikala to become the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. And that's because the Lok Sabha Deputy Speaker cited the ongoing political tussle within the Samajwadi Party to drive home his point further, that the control of the government and the party should be with the same person. Thambidurai said this after meeting the AIDMK chief at the residence of her mentor, the late J. Jayalalitha. Sasikala was appointed as the General Secretary by the AIDMK's top decision-making body on the 29th of December, and as she took charge of the post, she pledged to take forward the legacy of Jayalalitha.
ஆட்சியும் கட்சியும் தலைமையும் ஒரு இடத்தில் இருக்க வேண்டும். இதுதான் அரசியலில் நாம் கற்றுக்கொண்ட பாடம். இன்று உத்தரவில் நடைபெறும் நிகழ்ச்சி கூட பார்ப்பீர்கள். தந்தை கட்சியினுடைய தலைவராக இருந்தாலும் தன்னுடைய தனையன் ஆட்சியாக இருந்தாலும் இருவருடைய ஒரு மோதல் வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. அப்பன் மகனுடைய மோதல் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது.
Now, with several states preparing for assembly elections in 2017, the Supreme Court said that seeking votes on the basis of religion, race, caste, community or language amounts to a corrupt practice under the election law. Calling elections a secular exercise, a 7-judge constitutional bench that was hearing the case said its way and process should be followed. It also said it will not reconsider its 1995 judgment that defined Hindutva as a way of life and not a religion. In the 4-3 verdict, Chief Justice T.S. Thakur and 3 other judges said the use of term his religion in representation of the People's Act meant that the religion and caste of all, including voters, candidates and their agents. However, the minority view of 3 judges held that the term his religion means religion of the candidate alone. The majority view also added that secularism has to be considered while dealing with such issues.
हम लोगों का दायित्व है कि हर हिसाब से चुनाव प्रक्रिया साफ सुथरी हो, उसमें चुनाव लड़ने वालों को ऐसा कोई मौका ना दिया जाए कि वो धर्म के नाम पे या जाति के नाम पे या भाषा के नाम पे वोटर्स को बरगलाएं।
क्योंकि अगर किसी ने इसको वायलेट किया तो इलेक्शन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बड़ा क्लियरली कह दिया कि ये एक करप्ट प्रैक्टिस मानी जाएगी और करप्ट प्रैक्टिस के बेसिस पे तो जो इलेक्शन होता है वो रद्द हो सकता है।
Constitution mandates that nobody should appeal to voters on these narrow considerations which are divisive, and people should seek vote on secular issues such as development, such as other issues affecting the country.
Why should religion, caste, region or every other parochial instinct be invoked in order to garner votes in a democracy?
वोट तो सबके पास एक है और सरकार बनती है देश को आगे ले जाने के लिए, तो जो पॉलिसी और नीति है वो तो सबके लिए बनना चाहिए।
This is really has to be curbed, and for that matter the Supreme Court judgment will have greater impact on the polity of the nation.
India on Monday successfully test-fired its nuclear-capable strategic ballistic missile Agni-4 from a test range off the Orissa coast. Describing the trial as successful, DRDO officials said this was the 6th trial of the indigenously developed Agni-4 missile, which met the mission objectives. The sleek missile, having 4,000-kilometer strike range, is a 2-stage missile. It is 20 meters long, weighing 17 tons. The last trial, conducted by the specially formed Strategic Force Command of Indian Army on the 9th of November 2015, was also successful. With a quick break here, but more news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritan Rai and you're watching Law of the Land on Raj Sabha TV.
Doing one good deed, and giving a baby to somebody who's infertile, I don't think can be anything better.
Only people who really need surrogacy will be coming forward.
I think again the larger interest has been kept in mind, which are these poor women who are being exploited.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's continue getting you more national stories, and this one is of course making headlines across the world. The Supreme Court has removed Anurag Thakur as the president of the BCCI and Ajay Shirke as BCCI secretary over not complying with its orders to implement Lodha Committee recommendations. The court also issued show cause notices to Thakur and Shirke asking why contempt and perjury proceedings should not be initiated against them. The court said a committee of administrators will look after the affairs of the board for now, and the matter will come up on the 19th of January.
In a big jolt to India's cricket governing body BCCI, the Supreme Court on Monday removed Anurag Thakur from the post of president for not complying with its orders of implementing the Lodha Committee recommendations. The court also issued a notice to Thakur seeking an explanation why contempt proceedings should not be initiated against him. BCCI Secretary Ajay Shirke was also removed from his post.
For me, it was not a personal battle. It was a battle for the autonomy of the sports body. I respect the Honorable Supreme Court as any citizen should. Honorable Supreme Court judges feel that BCCI could do better under retired judges. I wish them all the best.
This was a logical consequence because so long as order of the Supreme Court passed on 18 July stands, BCCI was bound to follow it. And being at the helm of affairs, if they were not able to implement the Supreme Court order, these consequences were bound to follow, and that is what has happened.
A bench headed by Chief Justice T.S. Thakur also directed all office bearers of the BCCI and state associations to abide by recommendations of the Lodha panel or demit office. The Apex Court ordered that a committee of administrators will look after the affairs of the BCCI, clarifying that the senior-most vice president of the board will now act as the president and the present joint secretary will assume the work of secretary. The court also said it will pass a separate order on January 19th for appointing an administrator.
इनको बोर्ड ने रिमूव किया है और नोटिस भी इशू करके परजरी और कंटेम्प्ट इनिशिएट कर दिया है। साथ ही साथ 9 साल जो पूरा कर चुके हैं, जो चार्जशीटेड हैं, ठाकुर जी चार्जशीटेड हैं, 70 साल जिनकी उम्र पार कर चुकी है, जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स हैं, करंट मिनिस्टर्स हैं, ये लोग अब बोर्ड में या स्टेट क्रिकेट में नहीं रह सकते।
I have not seen the full order. And whatever Supreme Court has that is the final, and we all have to abide that. That's the only reaction.
The sports fraternity has welcomed the decision, saying it will benefit the game.
ये मैसेज यही जाता है कि हम और ज़्यादा सुधार कर रहे हैं बीसीसीआई में, जो कि होने भी चाहिए। जैसे मैंने पहले ही कहा कि $1 बिलियन की इंडस्ट्री है, तो इसको जितना ज़्यादा प्रोफेशनल बनाया जाएगा उतना ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा।
आज वो क्लियर हो गया कि ये जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन साइड है, ये किसी की जायदाद नहीं।
The Supreme Court had given the board time till December 3rd to implement the reforms suggested by the Lodha panel. The board had pleaded that it could not implement all the reforms, which include large-scale structural and management changes. The Lodha Committee, headed by former Chief Justice of India R.M. Lodha, was set up in January 2015 by the Supreme Court to suggest changes in the working of the BCCI. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's get you more updates from the world of sports in Sports Beat. India's singles tennis player Somdev Dev Varman announced his retirement from professional tennis on Sunday. The 31-year-old said it was the right time for him to quit international tennis since the passion with which he used to play was dying. Somdev touched a career high ranking of number 62 in 2011. He has 2 runners-up finishes on the ATP World Tour as his best performances. Spain came from behind to stun host Australia, led by Nick Kyrgios, in their opening match of the Hopman Cup in Perth. Nick gave Australia the lead with a straight sets victory over Feliciano Lopez, but the hosts lost the second single and the doubles match to lose 1-2. The United States defeated the Czechs 3-0 in their opening tie on Sunday. Arsenal defeated Crystal Palace 2-0 on Sunday to go third in the Premier League. Olivier Giroud opened the scoring for the Gunners with an outrageous scorpion kick. Alex Iwobi scored also in the second half to ensure Arsenal's victory. Arsenal are 9 points behind Chelsea and 6 behind second-placed Liverpool. International news now. In the Islamic State has issued a rare claim of responsibility for the attack in the Istanbul nightclub attack. In a statement, the terror group said that the attack was carried out by a hero soldier of the Caliphate. Meanwhile, authorities are still searching for the gunman who killed a police officer guarding the club before going on a shooting rampage inside. At least 8 suspects have been detained so far. The statement also had a warning for the Turkish government for its role in the Syrian conflict. However, it is not clear whether the Islamic State organized the attack or the gunman was simply inspired by the group. This is just the first time that the Islamic State has claimed direct responsibility for any attack, even though several terrorist attacks in Turkey over the past year have been attributed to the group. And here are some more international news updates in Global Buzz. A suicide car bomb killed at least 35 people and injured more than 50 in a busy square at Iraq's capital, Baghdad. No group has claimed responsibility yet, but the Islamic State carried out similar attacks recently. In fact, the terror group claimed the 2 suicide bombings at a market in the city on Saturday that killed 28 people. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Sunday said that the country was close to test launching an intercontinental ballistic missile. Kim also announced the US and South Korea denounced, in fact, the US and South Korea for conflict in the Korean peninsula. North Korea has been under UN sanctions since 2006 over its nuclear and ballistic missile tests. The sanctions were further tightened last month after Pyongyang conducted its 5th and largest nuclear test on the 9th of September. Danish police arrested the daughter of South Korean President Park Geun-hye's friend, who is at the center of an influence peddling scandal that has put Geun-hye's presidency on the line. South Korean authorities had been seeking the arrest of Chung Yoo-ra for her ties to the scandal, which has paralyzed Park's government and drawn hundreds of thousands of protesters onto the streets of Seoul for weeks. Heavy smog and fog continue to shroud many cities in China, jeopardizing traffic and causing inconvenience to people. North China's Hebei province and Tianjin municipality issued double alerts for heavy fog and haze. Parts of eastern China also witnessed heavy fog, forcing expressways to be closed temporarily. And that's all we have for you in the news tonight. Thanks for joining us.